Here's what I learned tonight from guys. This is what I learned from tonight. Um, Stop using Pablo Reyes under any circumstances. Please stop using Pablo Reyes. Yes, right, baby. The Yankified podcast is back like it never left, and I can see the chat is filling up. So salute to y'all on a Saturday evening. Obviously, we have a lot to talk about. Um, I'm really concerned that they're wasting Aaron Judge because we're only 6 games above 500, and Aaron Judge is having a season that Babe Ruth would be pretty happy with. So um, that's a concern to me. Just lost to one of the worst lineups you could ever put together. The Rays are garbage, and I really don't know why Reyes is on this team. Jonathan is literally just messaged exactly the same thing. I don't know why Reyes is on this team. We've got a lot to break down, so let's get into it. So first of all, let's say hello to the chat. What we got here? We got CT Cards. He's very active in the chat early on. Who was the very first poster of the night? It's John the Beagle Dad. Hail to the chat, guys. The Yankees better get serious. I want him to have one World Series in his career, right? You can't waste these opportunities, man. You can't waste someone who's like batting almost 500 in May. Like we need to have a proper team around this guy. Only two Yankees are hitting consistently. Well, yeah, him, Goldschmidt, but I think you could also add Grisham, and I think you could add Rice. But everyone after that, pretty much nothing. It's those four guys, and that Bellinger trade defensively looks good, but offensively he looks terrible. He should just be a platoon guy. Just put him in against lefties. He can hit lefties, but he cannot hit righties for love nor money. Well, we got D Train in the chat. Salute to D Train. What's D Train got to say? For the love of all that is righteous. I like that. He ain't messing around. Please, we're even bringing in the righteous at this point. For all that is righteous and good, could we please stop playing Pablo Reyes? By goodness, right? I'm starting to think this is a blackmail situation here. Yeah. What are you hiding? What are you hiding there, Vinny? What's your secret? Why is Pablo Reyes playing every other day? What's your secret? Right. What's going on, Jacob? Salute, Jacob. How are you? Jonathan's reporting that Corbin Burns is due to miss the next start. Well, we've got our own pitching problem, so I'm not worrying too much about Burns. What's going on here? What else we got in the chat? We got BC. Hey, we got Dodger. The Dodgers are looking pretty good with Yamamoto, right? CT Capisi, my dad's a Dodger fan. Please, just no more Dodger talk. The Dodgers can puff their chests out, man. They've earned it. When you win a World Series and you beat the Yankees winning the World Series, you can puff your chest out. That's the rules, I'm afraid. So I watched the game today, and I have to say that this offense just completely just didn't show up. Of course, Aaron Judge did, and he always does. One solo shot from Austin Wells, and that was it. That was it for the offense. And by the way, game one wasn't much better. It was a 3-run home run, nice, but we didn't do anything else other than that. The Yankees offense has been dead for a couple of days, and it just shows me they're an incredibly inconsistent team because obviously they'll have one night where they'll hit 25 runs, score 5 home runs in one inning, but it's almost like they use it all in one day and then they just don't they they don't show up in other days. It's weird. It's an inconsistent team. Uh, CT Cards agrees. Inconsistent offense for sure. Um, and I'm just worried that they're wasting Aaron Judge. And here's my question to those in the chat, right? And this is to everyone watching. Salute to everyone that's watching. My question is, how good are the Yankees? I know it's a little early to ask that question, but it's not even a rhetorical question. How good are the Yankees? Are the Yankees just simply a product of a dreadful American League and it's pretty bad? Or are they actually legitimately good? Because I'm I'm going to be honest, if you stack the Yankees up against National League teams, I don't even know where they would sit. I wouldn't even be guaranteed that the Yankees would make the playoffs if they were in the National League. So that's my question to y'all. Are the Yankees actually good, or are they more a product of a very poor American League? So that's my question to you guys in the chat. Um, so while I ask that question, let's have a look and see where the Yankees currently sit. But you look at the other teams, and I'm not I'm not certain that this Yankee team is that great. 19 and 14, so they're 6 games above 500, but they're only 1.5 games clear of the Red Sox. I think the Red Sox are going to pick up. But my question is, I mean, yeah, okay, they might be the class of the American League. The Tigers are better currently. The Guardians have a similar record. Um, I think the Astros will get better. Not sure what the A's are. I doubt they're going to get anywhere. But just look at the National League, right? And so here's my question: where would the Yankees be in the National League? They're not better than the Mets, not by a long shot. They're not better than the Phillies, right? Record aside, the Phillies have a much better team. Um, the Cubs are red hot. Obviously, they got Tucker, so I think the Cubs are better, right? And then if you put the Yankees in the National League West, they wouldn't even make the playoffs. The Giants, the Padres, the Dodgers all look pretty good. They got the Diamondbacks in there as well. So my question to you guys is, where would the Yankees be in the National League? Because I don't think that they would even make the playoffs in the National League. And and I know it doesn't matter because you only need to play who you're, up against and all that stuff. Heck, LeBron James managed to take a really terrible Cleveland Cavaliers team to the NBA Finals every single year, just on the strength of how bad the Eastern Conference was for like a decade straight. But the Yankees aren't that good. They're just not. And that's my worry when you start thinking about, playoffs, and then you're thinking about World Series, and I just don't think that the Yankees really ratch up. So let's see what the D Train says. Against the National League, we are probably cooked. Yeah, and I think the Padres will cook them. CT Cards has got a great point here. The San Diego series is going to be a real indication where we stand as of now. Totally agree. Heck, maybe San Diego, maybe the Yankees take 2 out of 3 against San Diego, and then we change our minds. But at the moment, I don't think it's going to happen. In the NL, they would be a third place team. Well, it depends on which division. If it was NL West, obviously they wouldn't even make third. NL East, yeah, they're just not that good when you stack up the teams. I'm not even convinced they're that good in the American League either. I think they're just a product of how terrible the American League is. I think they've gotten quite fortunate, frankly. It's not really a dismissal on the Yankees necessarily. It's just I'm just thinking bigger picture here. I'm thinking big picture. I'm thinking we got Aaron Judge. We've got Aaron Judge playing out of his mind, right? We've got Aaron Judge batting like almost 500. He leads baseball in every single category offensively, every single category. and the Yankees are only 6 games above 500. That's a concern to me. They should be better than that if you have that, right? You have Max Fried, who's won every single star, right? And is pitching basically to a sub 1 ERA. You got Aaron Judge, who's basically number one in every single offensive category. So you got those two things. You got Goldschmidt batting 360, and still there are only a handful of games above 500. I know it's early, but it gets late pretty quick. And I'm just looking at this roster, and I just don't like how this roster is constructed very often. I just don't. I just like, for instance, we have a million, a million super utility guys. You got Pablo Reyes, you got Oswald Peraza, you've got Oswaldo Cabrera. That's three. You got Dominguez, who the Yankees are basically using him as a platoon type guy. Like they don't even trust him to play every day, so I argue him four. Trent Grisham, they don't play him every day. That's five. They got a lot of guys that are either super utility guys or guys that they just try and mix and match and try and find ways to get in. Then you got Vivas, that's another one. So the Yankees have a lot of these guys, right? Some that they just don't even trust. I mean, what is going on with this Vivas situation? That's really weird. What's going on with Dominguez? What is going on with the way they're managing Dominguez? I want to ask that question because when you look at the bigger picture, how does this help in the bigger picture? Like, you're not developing your prospects. So how is this helping in the long term? Like, so again, another question to y'all, the chat. What's our end game here with Dominguez and Yorvin Vivas and heck, Peraza? What's the end game? CT cards. I'd love left Vivas in there today. The Pablo move made no sense. You're right. It made no sense. Jonathan says Boone's never been able to put together a consistent lineup. Yeah, and I to be honest, I've liked what Boone's done this year, but today had me scratching my head. There was a bunch of instances today where I was just kept scratching my head going, like, what's going on here? What is going on here? And I think I'm starting to get a little concerned. What up, Will Star? I'm starting to get a little bit concerned about what they're doing here with Dominguez. They're making him kind of a platoon guy, but more likely with the amount of times that he sat over the past week or so, you're starting to think that they're treating him as a fourth outfielder, right? Or heck, even a fifth outfielder because they obviously prefer Grisham as they should. And Ballinger's going to play every day because he's like Boone's guy and Judge's guy, so he has to play every day. That leaves Dominguez as the odd man out, and Dominguez is just kind of coming in, and he basically plays for 6 innings and he gets benched for the rest. How does that help? Right? And also, by the way, Aaron Boone said he's not going to do that, but yet he keeps doing it. He said a couple of weeks ago, "No, we're happy with the way Dominguez is, where Dominguez is right now. We're not going to mess around with it too much." And he went against his own belief system, and he's been playing Dominguez for 6 innings, twice a week, and then benches him. How does that help Dominguez? And by the way, it's not, because Dominguez looks off since he's been relegated to like playing once or twice a week and playing 6 innings and then being benched for the rest. Like, this has been happening a lot, and it's starting to affect Dominguez output. So it's not helping him. Anthony Volpe is basically treated the best I've ever seen anyone treat anyone in the organization. He plays every single day, rain or shine. He's their guy, right? Fair enough, but they don't do the same with Dominguez. I want to work out why. Like, what is that about? What is it about? So they did it again today. They keep doing it. So, like, how are they helping Dominguez? What is their end game regarding Dominguez? I mean, so I'm gonna have a quick look and see what's happened with him lately. So 28th of April, he went 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Then he played the 30th of April, so and then he went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. And then he basically sat a week, and now he's turned up against the Rays and he went 0 for 2. 0 for 2, and then benched for the rest. How is this helping him? I mean, there was a long stretch where he didn't play between the Guardians and the Blue Jays. He sat 4 days. What is going on? How I just want to work out what is going on. And it is affecting Dominguez's output. Batting 220, which isn't actually that bad, to be fair. It's much better than Bellinger, but you're never going to hear any Yankees say that. 12 ribbies. I mean, I've been quite happy with Dominguez. Yeah, he strikes out too much, but so does the whole lineup. But I just don't understand. That's why Donald is in tears. I want to know what am I crying about, brother? Did we lose today? Right. Okay. Okay. What's going on, Jets? Mess. Salute. Thank you for joining. That's why Donald is in tears. Okay, Lou. So, right. Clearly, you have some things on your mind. What is it that you're trying to say? What is it that you're trying to say? Because I've got what I've just mentioned here regarding what their usages of Dominguez, what their plan is for Dominguez. That's a very normal question to ask. What is it about that which indicates tears? It's, I mean, do you see me crying? No. So come at me. Come on. Come at me. What is it? I just got on. Right. Well, before you just jump on, why don't you ask? It's just, what do you mean I'm crying? I'm pointing out a very real question here. What's going on with Dominguez? Why are they playing him once, twice, every 3 or 4 days? He plays for 6 innings, and then he gets benched. And then he get benched. So what's going on with that? So that's a fair question regarding the upside. I don't understand their end game with that. What is going on with Pablo Reyes? If you so that I mean that's just a very normal question. Why is Pablo Reyes coming on to pinch hit for Yorbit Vivas? What sense does that make? Yorbit Vivas played fine. He made contact every single at bat. He's not struck out yet. He walked a bunch of times yesterday. His at bats have been fine. What is Pablo Reyes, Lou? Since you think I'm crying, Lou, what has Pablo Reyes shown in the regular season? Forget spring training because it doesn't matter. What's he shown in the regular season to get all these at bats? Why is he coming in? Why is he coming in at all? Reyes sucks. Right. Thank you. CT cards. The Pablo move made me angry, and I knew Pablo wasn't going to do anything. Of course. I agree with you, Donald. Thank you. There we go. I think the problem with Dominguez is that he's simply not outplaying the other outfielders right now. But is he not really? I mean, obviously, you leave out Aaron Judge, and no one makes makes everybody look bad, right? So that doesn't matter. Grisham, absolutely, but Bellinger's played good defense, but offensively he's been awful. So I'm sorry, I disagree that Bellinger has far outplayed Dominguez. Bellinger, um, Bellinger is not impressed me. He's horrible against right-handed pitchers. Horrible, and he's batting to a sub 200. He's batting 198. Same number of home runs as Dominguez. 25 strikeouts and 106 at bats, which is not very good at all. Just 12 walks. He ain't getting on base. So what's he done? What's he done? Bell had a big catch today. Ken, how's it going, man? Ken, yeah, it was a great catch, but he's been a bust so far. He absolutely has been, especially considering the money that the Yankees put into that contract. I mean, they took on all of his contracts. So that's 5 million, right? That is rough. You could get much better production for half that. For 198 batting average through all of April, so far May. But what's he done? He can't hit righties. His OPS against righties, I believe, is 500. Bellinger has a body of work. The Yanks are banking on that. Well, the Yankees have been banking on body of work a lot, but you could also make the argument that Bellinger's body of work has not been impressive at all in, what would you say, 3 out of his last 4 years? As I mentioned, 2021, he bat 165. He was a disgrace. 2022, he was terrible, about 210. Right? The Dodgers kicked him out. Cubs turned him around. He had one good year with the Cubs. That was in 2023. Okay. Last year, he had a bad year. Yeah, okay, about 260, but he still had less than 20 home runs as 18 homers, less than 80 RBIs, and his WAR was poor. So he had a bad year. So that's 1, 2, 3. So I would say that he's had 3 bad years out of 4. And so far with the Yankees has been bad. So you could argue it's been 4 bad years out of 5. So what is this body of work? Because you won MVP like way back when? So I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that Bellinger's playing every day. I don't think he's earned that. And this is a real worry here because it's a nasty contract which the Cubs were desperate to get rid of. And by the way, did the Cubs miss him? No, because they actually used that money better without him. They got rid of him for free. Nothing. They were just like, Yankees, take him, please. We'll take any of your trash. We'll even release that trash when we get him. We just need to get rid of Bellinger. Please, just take him. God, get rid of him. And the Yankees were like, yes, fantastic. Got a former MVP. Well, he's not the former MVP Bellinger. He's just not. He's very good defensively. I'll give you that. But you don't need to spend $25 million for really good defense. Guess what, Donald? Bellinger is not going to opt out of his contract. He will be a Yankee for the 20. Exactly. That's what worries me. It's not a team option. It's a player option. Bellinger's going to have a very mediocre year at best. and he's going to opt back in, and we're going to be tied to that 20 plus million. That's nasty. Donald, how do you feel about DJ's not returning? Did you hear that he had like a preemptive cortisone shot? No normal athlete who's healthy has a preemptive cortisone shot. We're not going to see DJ LeMahieu. There's no shot that we see DJ LeMahieu. No shot. They got Tucker in the 11th. Exactly. Absolutely. I want Tucker. What's up, Jacob? Hey, Donald, my brother. What's up, my brother Jacob? How are you doing? Donald, he played last night. So that's my concerns. I don't quite get this. Donald, you see Volpe shoulder injury? Yes. Now that's another question I had, guys, right? When he went down and he was in pain and he couldn't move his shoulder and he was down for a long, long time, why did the Yankees keep him out there? If he's in pain, even if he said that he's good to go, because he is a gamer, I would have been careful with him. It's just having him swinging a bat or getting on the field, and it just feels like you're probably aggravating something. I think they should have sat him and put Peraza in there. Make sure he's okay. Now, we hope that Volpe is okay. Now, salute to Volpe, man. He showed a lot of guts to stay on the field. But I mean, I don't quite know why they kept him out on the field. It's May, just be careful with this guy. I mean, our infield is already up in the air. You don't want to risk him aggravating an injury. So I didn't really understand that. And obviously he made the error that lost us the game today. I'm not going to blame him. It is what it is. There's every chance that he was still kind of hurt, which might have affected that play. I don't know, but I don't think he should have been on the field. I think that he should have been treated with a little bit more caution and put Peraza in there. But I will say that credit to Volpe for coming back. That he's a tough dude, and because he looked like he was in serious pain, he couldn't move. So yeah, still not a good error, and he's had like a couple of errors lately. But yeah, not great. I think I hope he's going to be okay. I believe that he is due for an MRI. I think he got initial tests and everything looked okay, but he's going to go for an MRI. So we will have to wait and see regarding that. But yeah, it was kind of a scary moment. Absolutely, but credit to him, he's a gamer. But yeah, this Yankee roster is a little weird for me. So we've got a lot of utility guys. They don't trust Peraza. They clearly don't really like Vivas, and they're obviously not really loving Dominguez all that much either because they're not even playing him that much. It's a little bit weird, right? It's just weird what's going on with that, and it just I'm a little worried that they're wasting what Aaron Judge is doing. I mean, Aaron Judge is sensational, absolutely sensational, and I really want to focus on Aaron Judge in a minute. But I do want to get into this chat. There's a lot of really good comments here. Stroman contract held us up in free agency. Well, the Yankees held themselves up because they were the one that gave out the Stroman contract. So, you know what I'm saying? But Bellinger contract will hold us up for Tucker. Yes, that is a fact. I'm very concerned because we know that the Yankees have a budget. So that $25 million that's going to go to someone who's maybe a fourth outfielder, or maybe he's going to play first base next year. I don't know what they're going to do with Bellinger, but um, I don't think that was the right trade to make. And I'm not. It is kind of Monday morning quarterback because obviously I wanted them to make the trade at the time, but I didn't realize how cooked he was. I didn't realize how cooked he was, and I was also kind of hoping that the Yankees would get the Cubs to eat more of that deal, but they only ate like $2 million per year, I believe. So I don't know. I think we're in a bit of trouble with that. John, good point here. Boone's decision to use Leiter in the eighth inning, where his stats are bad, Boone cost us the game. Yeah, I mean, listen, I completely agree with you. Boone had a bad game today. He had a bad day today. I think we can all safely agree with that. He had a bad day today. And as I say, at the start of the show, I said that I've been very happy with the way Boone's managed this year, but he had a bad day today. I don't get why they use Leiter there. That was a mistake. I don't understand what he's doing with Dominguez. I don't understand what he's doing with Vivas, and I don't understand why Pablo Reyes is getting all these at bats. Like, these are questions that are legit, need to be asked. I mean, it's, we're in the regular season, man. Games matter. This game matters just as much as any game in July, August, September. It feels weird to just to punt this game. What was Bellinger doing leading off? What? Why is your leadoff hitter batting 198? I think you didn't even justify it. Oh well, I just thought I'd give it a go today. Well, it didn't really work, did it? If you're gonna have someone lead off, Goldschmidt. Freaking weird. Here's what Pablo Reyes has done as a Yankee. He's batting 176 with 6 Ks and 17 at bats. That's great. He has no home runs. He has 1 RBI. That's it. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? 0 for 1 against the Diamondbacks. 0 for 1 against the Diamondbacks. 0 for 1 against the Guardians. 0 for 2 against the Orioles. 0 for 1 against the Rays. 0 for 0 for 0 for 0 for 0 for. And Aaron Boone's like, I got to get him in a close game. Make that make sense to me. Make that make sense. CT guys, I had to close my laptop and look away from my TV. I was mad. I wasn't mad. I actually had a smile. I might be just pain at this point, but I just kind of smiled like, interesting strategy. You know what I'm saying? Interesting strategy. Let's see how that pays off. And of course, it was always not going to pay off. It's bizarre. You've got someone who you like in your minor league system, who's batting to an 800 plus OPS in Vivas, and he's been called up a number of times prior to this most recent occasion, and he hasn't had a single at bat. How is this helping this guy? How are they helping these people? It's very frustrating. And all of this comes into my overall point is, are the Yankees at risk of wasting Aaron Judge? Because these decisions are costing them games that they shouldn't be losing. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. The Rays are a dreadful team. They have an abysmal lineup. They are a horrible baseball team. I like Andy Diaz and I quite like Lowe, but they're not a good team. Not at all. They can't hit. They can't hit at all. They shouldn't be losing to these guys. They shouldn't be losing these guys at all. Christopher Morel is in the middle of the lineup, and he's batting 230 with um, a sub average OPS. You got Junior Caminero batting 240. This team can't hit. They don't have really any legitimate hitters. And I mean, you go right down this lineup. Their entire lineup doesn't hit. Danny Jansen, 147. I mean, this lineup doesn't hit. The Yankees should not be losing to this team at all. Not any games. Taylor Walls, 151. This team doesn't hit. Curtis Mead, their first baseman. Their first baseman has no home runs and is batting 186. This lineup doesn't hit. The Yankees should not be losing any games to these guys. None. Wild. Absolutely wild. I mean, the last couple of games, they got shut out by the Rays. They got shut out by the Yankees. Right? They got shut out by the Royals. They got shut out by the Yankees. They lost 3-1 to the Royals as well. Then lost 8-2 to the Royals. They're a bad baseball team. They've scored like 3 runs in 4 games prior to today. This team doesn't hit. So when you lose these kind of games, especially at home, it should raise alarm bells. It really should raise alarm bells. These are the kind of games that you should be like stockpiling wins. So that was not a good loss at all. But shout out to Ryan Yarbrough. He kind of came in a really tough situation and he did really well in 4 innings. He only gave it 1 run. He just cruised right through. But unfortunately, the Yankees allowed the Rays to cruise right through. I mean, Zach Littell, he only threw like 77 pitches in like 7 innings. He was just cruising. So weird. But let's get into this this contention that I have that the Yankees are at risk of wasting Aaron Judge. Let's look at our rotation, for instance, right? Don't we have a losing record for everyone outside of Max Fried and Rodon? So the Yankees aren't winning their starts outside of their guys, their 2 guys. But there's some real durability concerns with this rotation. So outside of Fried and Rodon, who's next? Carrasco? You're lucky to get 4 innings out of him. And he's garbage. And he's actually one of the worst starters in baseball. So we got him. You can't trust him. Stroman, thank God he got injured because he was the worst starter in baseball prior to his injury. You don't want him having any innings. So him. Luis Gil's out until May, June. No, not even May, sorry. June, July. He's not durable. He's fantastic, but he's not durable. Clark Schmidt, he's also not durable. and he was scratched for the day. You cannot rely on him to make starts every 5 days. You can't. He doesn't have the upside of Luis Heel, and he's just as injury prone. So he's not durable at all. You're happy if you get over 5 innings with Clark Schmidt because he's not very durable, and he struggles to get through a lineup a third time. So that's another arm there's a question mark attached to. Will Warren, does anybody here in the chat have any faith in Will Warren? Because if you guys have faith in this guy, please send it over here because I have none. I have no faith in Will Warren. So all these arms, none of them are durable. We got rid of Yoendis Gomez, who's now a Dodger. We just released him for whatever reason. So the Yankees are don't have much pitching depth, right? So we're going to get to the deadline, and we're going to need to make a trade in order to get another starter in here. And we don't have many ready-made prospects in AAA that are potential trade chips. Because a lot of our pitching depth is gone. In like failed trades. And obviously the Soto trade as well. They've lost a lot, and there's injuries as well. Chase Hampton. So we're going to struggle legitimately to get a high-end starter at the deadline. That's a real problem. So that's one issue. Williams, I'm glad he's starting to look better in an 8th-inning role, but the trade's been a disaster so far. So that was a big move. It was a big swing by the Yankees. And it looks like he can't handle New York at all. Now it's still early, could still change, but it looks like you'll be happy if you can like lock down the 8th-inning at this point, because he just doesn't look like a closer for the Yankees. But again, it could change. But at the moment, the trade looks bad. So then you look at it, and the pitching depth isn't there. And that is a concern to me. And then this lineup is weird. It's really weird. Like, Grisham is legitimately one of the best bats that we have, and he never played last year. Aaron Boone couldn't find at bats for him, like, because he had to play for Dugo every day. So, and he's one of your best bats, like, for sure. So Ballinger looks like a complete waste of money. I think they should have allocated those funds better. And yeah, I'm looking at this situation that we're kind of in here. And I think it's going to be a bit troublesome as we get later in this year, because now the injuries are starting to, rear its ugly head a little bit. We have Jazz that got hurt, and by the way, Jazz was terrible so far this year. Offensively, not defensively. Defensively, great. Offensively, pretty terrible. Now he's hurt, and what it's done to the lineup is just shot the lineup. So, because now we're having to see Pablo Reyes play, and Vivas, who they don't trust, and Peraza is disappeared into the ether because the Yankees hate him. So, and it's, I don't know. See, one injury seriously affects this lineup. Seriously. So you got to hope that Volpe is okay, because if he goes down with a shoulder issue or anything like that, then this lineup's going to start to look really, really bad because the depth is just not there. And we have to hope that Stanton comes back. We do need Stanton. Make no mistake about it. But you look at what Aaron Judge is doing. He's doing things that baseball's rarely seen. And this rest of this lineup, obviously, apart from Goldschmidt and apart from Grisham and apart from Ben Rice, but by the way, Grisham doesn't play every day. And Ben Rice may not play much when Stanton comes back. So you can add a caveat to that. But apart from that, the rest of this lineup has not hit at all. And there's no depth in pitching. And that's what I'm worried about, man. What Aaron Judge is doing so far, the Yankees probably should have a lot more wins than they actually do, considering what Aaron Judge is doing. He leads baseball in every category. It's insane. Like, if you look at his career slugging is better than Barry Bonds right now. And Aaron Judge is giving Barry Bonds a run for his money. And what's more impressive with what Aaron Judge is doing is that the competition is much higher now. Plus, the game is so slanted in favor of pitching. You can't even put into words how much it's like slanted in favor of pitching. Like for instance, nowadays, if you have a batting average of 240, that's considered like above league average. You know, if your on base percentage is better than 320, you're above average, right? That's what most hitters do nowadays, right? Whereas back in the day, back in the 90s, and there'll be people in the chat that can remember years prior to that, 290, 300 was the average, right? Like league average. So Aaron Judge is that much better than his peers because Aaron Judge is currently batting over 400, well over 400 at this stage. It's amazing what he's doing. And I don't want to waste it. Can we really keep asking him to do this every year? It's insane. So, there's multiple ways you can look at it. First of all, I do want to focus on the fact that he's much better than everybody else in the league. He's number one in home run. He's number one in every single category: homers, RBIs, batting average, OPS, slugging, on bases, everything, on base percentage, absolutely everything. He is the best at. So he is the best player in baseball. We're very blessed to have the best player in baseball, and we should have. All I'm saying is we should have a better team around him. We really should have a better team around him. His numbers are insane. John the Beagle Dad, he is better than Ohtani and Soto. He absolutely is. Neither of them can lace Judge's boots. That's just a fact now. Look at this. OPS of 1,300. League average OPS is around about 705, 710. He's double that. On base percentage of 520. As I mentioned, the league average is about 315. He's almost double that. He's on base more than not. 520, he's on base over 50% of the time. That doesn't happen. That's not normal. Batting average of 432. Plus, he's stealing 3 bases already. He's 33. He's got 3 stolen bases. And he's a big dude. That says a lot. 33 RBIs is insane. 11 home runs is insane. He's on course to hit 60 home runs at this juncture, just slightly under. He has 54 hits already. That is insane. Look what he's doing his last 7 games, guys. He's got a 519 batting average. He's batting over 50% of the time. Most NBA shooters can't shoot 50% of the time, and he's batting over 50% of the time. On base percentage, 567. 1,000 slug? What? None of this is normal. This man is a freak. So my concern is, he's that much better than the league, right? We should be better. We should be a much better team. We should have a much better team around him. Because over his last 7 games, where he's batting 519 with an on-base percentage of 560, a slug of 1,000, and he has 1,000,000 home runs. The Yankees have lost 2 out of 3 to the Orioles, and they've just lost a game to the Rays. So I don't think the Yankees are taking advantage of quite how good Aaron Judge is. Because you can't expect this to happen. You know what I'm saying? That you can't expect this to happen. Like, we lost 2 out of 3 to the Guardians. We've lost 2 out of 3 to the Orioles. We've got the rubber match against the Rays. We've been quite a mediocre team of late. And meanwhile, we've got Aaron Judge batting over 500. The Yankees should be doing better than that. And I mean, obviously, short term, you're like, hey, we're first in the American League East. What are you complaining about? But then, you look at this lineup, and we've already kind of mentioned here that they have a really odd situation with their star prospect Dominguez, where it kind of seems like they're indifferent in terms of developing him. They're forcing at bats to Pablo Reyes where there's no real reason to do it. Their behavior towards Vivas is so bizarre. This guy is a legit decent prospect, and the Yankees are kind of treating him like a kind of a platoon guy, or just a journeyman. You know what I'm saying? They're treating him like a journeyman. He's been called up like 3 or 4 times prior to this, and he never got a single at bat. So all this stuff adds up, and then you look at the fact that we have Carrasco, who's garbage. You have Will Warren, who's garbage. You have Clark Schmidt, who you don't know if he's going to make it every 5 days. And these are the things that are going to come back to bite you long term. There's not much depth. So obviously we see one injury to Jazz Chisholm, and our lineup looks really questionable. Because there's not much depth there, not much depth in pitching. And the Yankees' big investment was Bellinger, and he's batting to a sub 200. And there's 2 ways you can look at it, going, well, hey, if you're in first place with all those problems, then you're doing pretty good. And that is true. But then if you look at it and also say, well, Aaron Judge is batting like better than possibly anyone has ever started a season in the history of the game. Yet we're only a couple of games above 500. I mean, this team should be better. I kind of feel bad for Aaron Judge. He should have you should have a better team around him. Because if they waste this season, and I still count, yeah, even if they make the playoffs but get an early exit or don't make the World Series, I count that as a waste. So yeah, Trigil's right. Remember, Big G isn't here yet. But this roster is very oddly constituted, though, Regil, right? So when Stanton comes back, what's going to happen to Ben Rice? Ben Rice is one of the only people that can hit, and that's why this roster is really oddly constituted. You know what I'm saying? Where we don't have a third baseman that they like. Um, Ben Rice is like a first baseman slash third choice catcher slash DH, but he needs to be playing every day because he's excellent. Goldschmidt is one of the only people that can hit in this lineup. He's been an excellent signing, marvelous player. He's Gold Glove first baseman. He needs to play every day. But then what happens to Ben Rice? Then you go Stanton, who can't play the outfield, so he has to DH. So I'm not quite sure how they're going to put that together. Cashman decided to have zero bench. I'm so glad that he chose to keep Grisham, though, because Grisham's awesome. Who else wanted Bellinger? I can tell you, nobody. I think the Bellinger trade was a mistake in hindsight. I do. John the Beagle Dad's like musical chairs with mediocre players. That's a great way to put it. That should be, in fact, that should be my tagline for tonight's episode. It's like musical chairs with mediocre players, and that is a very good way of putting it. Because it's kind of much of a muchness with this Waldo Cabrera at third, Volpe at short. You know, then you go Vivas coming in and out. They don't really know what they're doing with him. Pablo Reyes, they don't really know what they're doing with him. And they're just kind of mixing and matching. See what's happening with that. You know? They don't really know what they're doing with Dominguez. They're forcing Bellinger at bats every day because of his past rather than what he's actually doing. It's a hodgepodge roster. Regil the Great has got it absolutely nailed. Too early to say Billy Deal is a bust. Yeah, but as I mentioned, he's been bad for 4 of the last 5 years. So, and why were the Cubs so desperate to get rid of him for nothing? You know, these are questions that are legit, and nobody else was interested in Bellinger. So I think basically taking on 20 plus million plus an option on him feels like a questionable trade now. CT Cards is a very good point, though. We're in first place on May the 3rd. How would you feel to be a fan of certain other teams that have zero hope? Just saying, y'all. It's early, 162 game season. We got guys coming back, etc. Can't argue with that, man. And to be fair, I think I said that in the last podcast. I was actually fairly optimistic with the fact that the Yankees were in first place, considering all the problems that we've had. So I know it appears that I'm just like ripping this team what I'm trying to what I'm trying to pinpoint, whether I've been successful or not, but what I'm trying to pinpoint is the fact that Aaron Judge is having a stratospheric season, generational season, one of the greatest seasons of all time, and the rest of the roster is very much up in the air. And I'm not sure how sustainable that is long term for the rest of this year. And if they don't have a really successful year, then that would be a crime considering how good he is. What he's doing is insane. And that's it. I think this roster should be better. There shouldn't be these many questions. And I know that we're in first place and all that stuff. But as I pointed out, if the Yankees were stacked up against National League teams, I don't think it would be a playoff team. And we've got the best player on the planet. At the moment, we've got the top 5 best starter on the planet in Max Fried. But the Yankees aren't winning games unless Max Fried and Rodon pitches. These are all things that people need to be paying attention to, right? Right? I mean, you could call me negative, but it's a bit of a red flag that the Yankees can't win starts outside of our first 2 starters. Right? That's a bit of a concern to me. Another concern to me is that we have 4 good hitters and only 2 of them play every day. So, again, I'm just not sure how sustainable that is, like, long term. And then you can make the argument, yeah, but we got guys coming back. It's like, you go, Stanton coming back. But, you look at this roster, and I just don't really like the upside in terms of our batting lineup. Oswaldo Cabrera, he's a platoon player, but he's playing every day. I don't think he's a guy that should be playing every day. I don't think he's that type of player. Anthony Volpe is a mediocre player. Jazz Chisholm, I don't think he's a superstar. He strikes out far too much, and now he's hurt. Goldschmidt is our second best player. He's almost 40. There are some questions here. And Dominguez, they don't trust. Grisham's our best outfielder apart from Aaron Judge, and he didn't play last year because he was a bench player. So, I think if we're being really honest with ourselves, we could say that the first place that we're in right now, we're kind of fortunate to be there. Very fortunate. And I'm just not sure how sustainable these issues are long term. Over the course of the season, it's a long season. We're only in May, and a lot of these issues are starting to add up now. So I'm being critical because Aaron Judge is batting 500, 530 over his last 7 games, and the Yankees have only won like half of those games. So they should be doing better, is my point, considering how good Aaron Judge is. And it would be a crime if the Yankees don't minimum win the American League East with what Judge is doing, and at minimum make the ALCS again. So I'm just putting it out there. It's food for thought. Exactly. I completely agree with Cold Italian Pizza. The Yankees are in first because the rest of the teams are playing under 500. And that's what I'm saying. That was my that was my big question at the start of the show. I said, how good are the Yankees? Or are they just really a product of how bad the American League is? And I think it's you could argue it's a bit of both because we do have like three wonderful players in Goldschmidt, Aaron Judge, and Max Fried, right? So we've got good players. It's not like we're saying that we don't have great players, but we don't have a great team. You know, we've got some great players, but we don't have a great team. Um, and then we're just very fortunate that the rest of the American League is really, really bad. The Rays are in a full rebuild. The Orioles have taken a huge step back. Very fortunate about that. You know, so and the rest of the American League are very kind of mediocre, whereas the National League is nails. And I think I think a lot of National League teams would kick our ass. So that's why I'm kind of putting it out there that yeah, we can all. But what I'm saying is we shouldn't rest on our laurels. The fact that we're 6 games above 500, um, because we're kind of fortunate to be there. And today was an example of that. John the Beagle that says our swagger has been gone for a long time. It has. Got Alex in the chat, my man. Salute to Alex and sub up to his channel. What you got to say, brother? Did you watch the game today? And oh, Alex, are you going to the game tomorrow? Are you going to? Because Alex was debating whether to go to the game on Sunday. So, want to find out if he is or not. Yeah, I'm kind of. He'll be at the game tomorrow. Yes. Is against Will? Is Will Warren pitching? Oh, good God. That's gonna be awful. But I mean, I don't know, man. I just think that we shouldn't be losing games like we did. This is an awful Rays team. That Rays team is awful. That lineup, most of that lineup cannot hit at all. We shouldn't have lost that game. So it's making me wonder just what the upside is with this team. John Bazzini is not a fan of Aaron Boone. Not at all. Boone will find a way to lose the series to Tampa Bay at home. I'm not putting anything past him because this team just looks a little bit off right now. Yeah, Ragil's bringing up Joey Gallo. Yeah, did you guys see Joey Gallo working out as a pitcher? Didn't impress me, I have to say. Small business doctor. Got a new person in the chat. Salute to you. Bellinger trade. We gave up nothing to improve defense, and he will hit when he's healthy. Be patient. Well, he is healthy. We did give up nothing. You're absolutely right about that, and he has improved our defense. You're absolutely right about that. But is it really worth $25 million per year? Because Grisham is actually a better center fielder than him, and he's only getting paid $5 million this year, and he's also better offensively. And you're saying he will hit when he's healthy. Well, he's already healthy, and he hasn't hit that much because I've been through it, man. 2021 he was awful. 2022 he was awful. 2023 he was good. 2024 he was bad. He's been kind of bad for 4 of his last 5 years. Are we 100% sure that Bellinger's the guy? Yay! We got a super chat. Yo. Thank you so much, Ragil. Blessings to you. Bless up, brother. If you could make changes, Don, what are you changing? I'm trading for a third baseman. I want a third baseman that can hit consistently. Make the Arenado trade. I want another league average bat in there um, to boost up this infield. And I need another bat in here. John Beagle wants another starter. See, I'm definitely not that negative, considering you guys are pointing out the clear issues here as well. We need a third baseman. We don't have one. We need a starter. And these are all issues that are going to come back to bite us in the ass because it's starting to show up a little bit, and we're only in May. So I'm just looking at the bigger picture here. We have two reliable starters. We have two reliable starters. That's just a fact. We have two reliable starters. We had to demote our closer. I mean, these are issues that are real. We strike out far too much as a team. So that's why I want another bat in here. And preferably one that doesn't strike out all the time. Because we have guys that are striking out far too much in this lineup. And that is not sustainable. The amount of times that we strike out is not really sustainable, in my opinion. Jazz Chisholm leads all Yankees with 39 strikeouts this year. Anthony Volpe is catching up to him. He's got 35 strikeouts. Dominguez has 34, and he's only a part-time player. That's a lot of strikeouts. Cody Bellinger is next with 25 strikeouts. That is a lot of strikeouts, man. Oswaldo Cabrera has 22 strikeouts in 27 games. It's not as bad as the others, but it's still not great. That is a lot of strikeouts. I'm just not sure how sustainable that amount of strikeouts is as a lineup. So actually, I think I want a third baseman in here. Our third base options are Peraza, who the Yankees treat like a homeless man in Central Park. They got Oswaldo Cabrera, who's got a below average OPS. He also has arm issues because every so often he gets the yips and he throws throws freaking throws balls towards first base that are heading towards outer space. So they got him. They got Yorvat Vivas, who they do not want to use much at all. So for me, they need to be getting a third baseman in the building. Volpe is who he is at this point. The issue with Volpe is that Cashman spent 3 years hyping this fan base on him as if he was a second coming of Jeter. I agree. My criticisms on Volpe are not so much Anthony Volpe, the player or the person. It's what the Yankee organization sold us that he was. And kind of they've kind of let him play every single day, but they don't have the same treatment towards other prospects. As I say, Peraza's treated like a homeless dude living in a box in Grand Central. And he's far too good for that. Vivas is a prospect who's been batting with an 800 plus OPS in the minors. And they prior to this most recent time calling him up, they haven't used him at all. No at bats. He's been sitting on the end of the bench for days. I mean, that's a terrible way of using prospects. Then you got Dominguez, and the Yankees they're not even using him as a platoon guy. They're just kind of using him as a part-time player, part-time left fielder. They're thinking that he's going to magically become a really good left fielder if you bench him after 6 innings every other day. I don't know how this is going to help. I don't know how that's going to help. I don't know what the end game is with that. I don't know how you're going to develop prospects that way, because all it says to me is that we've already run out of options with Peraza. So if we get to a roster crunch, Peraza is going to be DFA'd, and that is a waste because that dude's a magician defensively. Vivas, he's hurtling towards the end of his options, and then what we're going to do with him then? The Yankees are getting to a crunch here, and they're not really developing these guys. They need to be doing better. I'm extremely pissed off with the rotation of players. Yeah, it's just bizarre, man. They got a whole lot of like utility guys. As I mentioned, Oswaldo Cabrera, utility guy, Peraza, utility guy, Vivas, utility guy, and they just don't really know what they're doing with either of them. And then you got Pablo Reyes, who the Yankees seem to love, and he's done much less than the aforementioned players. They adore this Pablo Reyes guy for whatever reason. Vivas will be DFA'd. Well, they DFA'd Yoendris Gomez, who's a very good pitcher. Very good. He's young, and he gives you pitching depth, and the Yankees just DFA'd him, and guess who picked him up? The team that beat us in the World Series. So clearly he's good enough for the Dodgers, but he wasn't good enough for the Yankees? Like, he's someone that you could use as a trade chip. They could have done something. They could have gotten something, or you could have just continued to use him as a middle reliever. He was doing fine as a middle reliever, especially considering we've got issues with Clark Schmidt and Carrasco and Warren, who's garbage. They couldn't have found a way of making use of Gomez. I just don't totally understand what's going on with this. And these decisions are slowly going to catch up with us. Because it's starting to show that. I don't like Boone's management style, for God's sake. Back in the Dynasty years, we knew what we were freaking getting every goddamn day. Donald doesn't love Will Warren. I will never love Will Warren. You can never convince me to love Will Warren. There's no way. Will Warren throws about 32 pitches, and and I'm not sure if any of them are league average. No, I think his changeup's pretty good. No, he throws a million pitches, and none of them are very good. I just can't get into Will Warren. Like, I ain't feeling him, man. I ain't feeling Will Warren at all. And then we've got DJ LeMahieu, who, as I mentioned earlier, he got a preemptive cortisone shot on his hip. That dude has legs like he's 83. He's younger than me. And the dude's getting cortisone shots in his hip. I think I might be healthier than he is. That's a concern, man. What is going on with DJ LeMahieu? Why is his legs so shot? DJ's legs are more shot than Stanton. That is frightening to me. Frightening, and you might be right. Like, DJ ramped up. He played a minor league game or two, and then he needed a cortisone shot during a rehab. There's no way that we're gonna see him. No way. I'd be shocked. Shocked. I really hope the DJ could get a leg transplant. That's what I hope. If he can get a leg transplant with DJ LeMahieu, then DJ will be back to MVP DJ. Because he's a good hitter, but his legs are cooked. And it's sad, man. It's sad. And these things are going to come back to bite us, man. We've got a rotation of third basemen that we don't really know what we're doing with. You got DJ LeMahieu in there who's getting cortisone shots like he's 106. My dude is cooked. My dude is cooked. His legs are tired of carrying this franchise. His legs just gave up on him, man. It's remarkable. I would love to do a. Do you know how like they do like combines in the NFL? I want to see a combine of Stanton and DJ LeMahieu running a 40. What do you think their 40 time will be? Stanton and DJ LeMahieu. Their 40 time. It would take them about 4 minutes. Oh, Jesus. So, no, I'm not confident we're going to see DJ LeMahieu. Stan need to wait till June to the results. DJ would need to stop at 20 to get him another cortisone shot. I mean, what is going on here, man? So, yeah, I am not confident we're going to see DJ LeMahieu, nor do I really want to see him. But no doubt, I'm sure I'm sure that if he had healthy legs, that he would hit better than all our infield options not named Goldschmidt. Yeah, cortisone shots are a band-aid fix, exactly. I mean, that's if you've got like arthritis or you've got like serious degeneration in your legs that you need cortisone shots to take away the pain. I mean, that's not a great sign. That's not a sign that you're getting healthy. It's not a great sign. I thought it was insane that the Yankees were having him play minor league games already. The dude is cooked. Cooked. This is beautiful. When your 40-yard dash is measured time-wise by a sundial, you got problems, right? Oh, yeah. Not great. Not great. That is hilarious, guys. But yeah, you could also say that DJ could probably, if he was healthy and if he had actual legs, he would probably hit better than Oswaldo Cabrera. He'd definitely hit better than Volpe. He'd probably hit better than Jazz. Doesn't say much for a lot of our infield offensively. Regil, at least we aren't Boston. Boston are only a game and a half behind us, man. I think Boston are going to come around. I do. Run, Forrest. Run, DJ, run. Run, DJ. Poor DJ. I don't want to rip this guy. He ain't even playing yet. Damn, that was $50 that I just pissed away on my DJ LeMahieu jersey. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's my fault. I spent $50 on a DJ jersey, wore it with pride, and since then, his legs disappeared. His legs turned to dust, and then he started batting below the Mendoza line, and then now he's needing cortisone shots, and now I've not seen him. Maybe it's my fault, and I apologize. I love DJ. Loved him. Absolutely loved him. Unfortunately, his legs don't love him. Luckily, it was not 180 like the Judge jersey. I spent $200 on a Stanton jersey, and I lost it. But I didn't lose it. It's at an ex's house. I ain't going there. So it's probably in a charity shop or something. Someone's got a very nice Stanton jersey from the start. Brand new Stanton jersey from a charity shop somewhere. Easily replaceable, even at that price. Yeah, I'd rather be like breathing. So yeah, definitely the right choice. I can always get another Stanton jersey, and I did. I got a new Stanton jersey. So I can't wait till Big G comes back. Right. Who else we got in the chat? What else we got, guys? Keep my Maris jersey, and I know I never have to work. You see, that's why I just stick with the legends now. I've decided that I'm just going to go with legends. I've got a Jeter jersey, Eli Manning jersey, and Jalen Brunson jersey. And I know that these legends can never let me down. It's safe. And I got a Judge jersey as well. It's safe. It'll never let me down. It's when you take the risks that it comes back to bite you. Can't find Jeter. Really? You can't find how you? I'm sure you go on eBay. You can find Jeter jerseys. There's millions of Jeter jerseys. It's the smart way to go. Go with the legends. I'll keep my Maristers. It's smart. It's a smart way to go. Extortionate prices. Well, that's true, man. Everything's crazy these days. Gone are the days where you get like a good jersey for like $40. Now it's like 200. It's absolutely insane. DJ's legs are, as Bill and Ted said, dust in the wind, dude. Bill and Ted. Now that is a really good throwback. That was a good throwback, man. I remember watching that movie. When did I see it? I was a kid. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Okay, what will be the key moving forward? Addressing the offense or getting the pitching staff back to consistent? As I said, I'm wanting to address the offense, but it shouldn't be an either or. It should be both. We're the New York Yankees. But I want a third baseman, man. I want to boost up this infield. If we can get league average offense, in the corner infields at first and third, I would feel a hell of a lot better about us holding off the Red Sox to win the division. I think we have to get a third baseman, man. I really do. This hodgepodge of super utility dudes, I'm kind of done with. Dude, okay, interesting. The Yanks' problem is not third base, it's pitching. And Boone's shit decisions with pitching staff. See the World Series, for example. Arenado is not the answer. He's Donaldson 2.0. I'm not arguing about that. Boone did cost us a game or two in the World Series. There's no question there. I think both issues. I think both are issues. At the moment, pitching is a bigger issue. I agree. Completely agree with that. As I mentioned before, we have two starters that you can rely on, and none after that. But we still got Luis Gil due back, and Luis Gil is a potential ace. You got Max Fried, who's an ace, and he's been incredible. So and Rodon surprised us all. He's been excellent too. So kind of got that. The bullpen's been really good, apart from Williams. Williams might get it together. For me, the offense, I just, you see games like this, like today, and like half the time we have an offensive extravaganza. We put up a football score. The other half the time, we don't do anything. It's a little inconsistent, and I just think another third baseman would definitely be a good way of addressing that. Plus, I think there's just a bit of a lack of depth to our offense. As you see what's happened with Jazz Chisholm out, and he's even been having a bad year, but take him out his bat out of the lineup, and it's a bit of a dark hole. So that's why I think we should be addressing that. Arenado is my suggestion because I know that he's available, and he's actually been hitting very, very well this year. He's kind of been turning a lot of heads, but he's in a bit of a slump right now. He was actually red hot up until the tail end of the month, and he's been in a bit of a slump. So yeah, you might be right. Maybe he's not the answer. He's at the moment he's in some kind of a 5, 9, 12, 16, 20. He's won for his last 20, won for his last 24. Yeah, so he's in a bit of a slump. So if there's someone better that we can acquire, then I'm all for it. But I would certainly like a better third baseman. I think that was a miscalculation by the Yankees not to bring in a third baseman, because I just don't want to waste Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is far too good for a mediocre lineup, and I stand by that. What is up, Stevie B? Good to see Stevie B in the chat. Volpe getting an MRI on his shoulder tomorrow. Yep, fingers crossed he's okay, because if not, then we're in a bit of a bind, because our depth is getting severely tested right now. I don't quite know why he stayed in the game, though. I really think the Yankees should have taken him out when he was hurt. And I think that injury had something to do with the fumble that he made. I think they should have taken him out and put Peraza in. Then we play Peraza at short, Cabrera at third, Vivas at second. Amazing defense. Yeah, but dude, they treat Peraza like he's a homeless dude in Grand Central. Dude, they honestly ignore him. They treat him like like you could smell him from like 100 yards away. Like they want nothing to do with Peraza. It's absolutely obscene the way they treat that guy. Absolutely obscene. It is obscene how they've treated Peraza. I think the Yanks forget Peraza's even on the team. I think Peraza forgets he's on the team. I feel bad for that guy. He's my boy. I will always defend Peraza. He's the redhead ginger Florida, right? It's like they treat him like the redheaded stepchild that dribbles out the side of his mouth. Like they keep away from him. They just like, oof, oof. Even though he's a wizard defensively. Whenever he plays shortstop, he plays like Zeus, the Greek god of shortstops. And the Yankees are like, oh, no, no. Can't have that. Moved him to second base. He had played a game at second, made a sensational play at second base. We're like, oh, no, God, no. This guy's ass. Bench him for a week. Where's Pablo Reyes? That's right. That dude can't play second, can't play third. He can't do anything. Yes, give me Pablo Reyes. That's the Yankees right now. It's so insane. Jazz sucks. He's giving us nothing but a periodic homer. Jazz is an odd one, man. He's super athletic. Like there's certain things that you love. Like he's super athletic. When he makes contact, it's pretty good. Unfortunately, he strikes out 40% of the time. So, I mean, I can live with him, like, say, near the bottom of the lineup. I can live with him as, like, say, batting seventh, batting eighth. But he should not be in the middle of the order. Like, that's not a middle of the order bat. And that just shows how weak our lineup is that he's a middle of the order bat. That's why I want another bat in here. Yeah, I mean, CBB's right. Like, his glove is insane. He just doesn't have a bat. But I think if you used him over a longer period, I think it would probably come out as about league average, if not slightly below. But a lot of teams would find value in that. The Yankees don't. And we're going to get to a point where it's going to come to a roster crunch, and he's going to be the odd man out. And it just feels like a massive L. Because he's a prospect that used to be involved in a lot of high-end trade negotiations. The Yankees had no plan for him, and that's why I circle it back to, are the Yankees at risk of wasting Aaron Judge because of these rosters decisions? That's going to come up very, very soon. We're going to get to a point where Vivas is going to be out of options. We're already at the point where Perez is out of options. What is going to happen long-term with these guys? Because the Yankees don't seem to have a plan with them. What is their plan with Dominguez? Why are they treating him so poorly? Reyes is the first DFA, correct. Perez is the next one. I agree with that. And it just feels like a waste. It just feels like a waste. Because if you didn't have a plan with these guys, then put them in trade negotiations in order to get someone that you do have a plan for. But I really don't know what the end game is with Dominguez. How is it helpful to this guy that he plays 6 innings and then gets benched for the rest? How is it helpful to him that he plays once every 3 or 4 days? How is that helpful to the guy? Or they trade Volpe and Perez and get a better shortstop. I'd be really interested if I would be just really interested to see if Cashman and Boone weren't in charge and we had another GM, if Volpe would play every day. My guess, and it would be a strong, strong, strong guess, the answer would be no. I think they probably treat. I think Volpe and Peraza, honestly, you could probably platoon them. If you're being honest, I don't think there's a massive difference between the two of them. Volpe's got a slightly better bat. Peraza's got a better glove. So I really don't know if Volpe is really an everyday player. I don't think he's that great. I really don't. But this is kind of a hot streak for him. But it's going to get cold very soon. In 2 weeks' time, less than that, he'll be right back to where he was. Platooning Volpe and Peraza is actually a great idea. I never thought of that. Well, yeah, because Peraza can hit lefties and Volpe can hit righties, so you could do that. That's how I would do it. At least you're guaranteed excellent defense at short all the time. But I mean, the Yankees absolutely adore Volpe, and that's fine. Every organization's going to have their guys. Honestly, I wanted Seager at shortstop, and I think that's why I'm more critical of Volpe. And it's nothing really necessarily to do with him. It's just the way that the organization did this. It's like Seager was sitting there. That's the guy. You sign Seager. You know, bring him in. That was a no-brainer. It was like a layup signing. It honestly it just didn't require any brain cells to sign Seager. Zero brain cells were required to sign Seager. Allow Volpe to work on the things that he needed to work on to become more of a consistent offensive player. Then when Volpe's ready, then you can put Seager at third. There was no brain cells required. Seager doesn't fit the ass analytics department. Yankees have too much trust in Volpe. Yeah. So, are you guys happy with Volpe's season so far? Because obviously he is kind of in a hot streak so far. He is like second team in RBIs, I believe. Um, his defense has been good, but he's also had some really costly errors, like today where it cost us the game. Yeah, Volpe is second in the team in RBIs. It really says a lot about the kid. His OPS is 768. That's very good. His slug is pretty good, 440. It's not bad. Batting average 230. Slightly below average, but for 35 strikeouts is ugly. But yeah, he's an odd one. Right? I think that's where I sit, Regil. I agree with that. Volpe was doing better than last season, but there's a part of you that just doesn't feel like it's legit. I actually kind of agree with that. Because I'm kind of expecting that within the next like week or 2 weeks, he's gonna go 0 for 15 again. And then everyone's gonna criticize him again. I think this is who he is. He's a very streaky hitter. But this is technically his hot streak. But yeah, he's defensively. He's had a few errors right now. He already has 4 errors already. We're only in a couple of days into May. His fielding percentage is actually slightly below his career average. Volpe is the man. Don't want to go that far. I think I added some muscle mass like Rice did. I just think Ben Rice is a better hitter. Volpe is average, but his mental errors reminds me of Torres. Yeah, like you slightly hold your breath when the ball goes to him. He makes the difficult plays really well, but the easy plays, he kind of like today. That error should have been a double play, and the Yankees probably go on to win the game. So, Lou, he is our future. I don't think so. I don't agree with that. I think our future is guys like Lombard. I think Lombard's our future. I like Spencer Jones. I like Dominguez if the Yankees ever choose to use him. I think Ben Rice is our future. I don't think Volpe's our future. I think Volpe's just a mediocre player. I think he's a very mediocre player. And his numbers throughout the career kind of testify that he's just mediocre. He's average. Stop with a Volpe. He is the shortstop in the league. He's the best shortstop in the league. Really? He's the best shortstop in the league. Is that hyperbole, or do you have like evidences to back that up? Does everybody else in the chat agree that Volpe is the best shortstop in the league? Without a doubt. CT buying it. All right, Lou. Well, no, I sure don't lose trolling. All right, Lou. Back it up, brother. Back it up. Back it up. I'm giving you the floor. You got the floor. Prove to me that Anthony Volpe is the best shortstop in the league. Now, are you saying the American League? Are you saying in all of baseball? Or are you saying the AL East? Which league are you talking here? I'm actually giving you an easy out. Oh, everyone knows I hate Volpe. Bro, you had me going. You had me going, bro. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing there, bro? I was just getting ready to cook. I was just getting ready to cook, bro. I was just ready to roast you in a skillet, and then you come back and then you're just like, oh, I was kidding. Well, there we go. Then none of us likes Volpe. Right, cool. That was easy. No, I can't speak too loudly because Rob and Tats love Volpe, so I can't really say anything. I think I'm the only person on this channel that doesn't really like Volpe. Yankees continue to Volpe. Yeah, I agree. Yankees continue to overvalue all of their prospects. Well, you knew better than me, brother. I was confused. I was like, really? The Yankees continue to overvalue all of our prospects. I just think that they don't have a plan for all their prospects, man. I don't know if they overvalue. Uh, because I think it's more of a case that they just don't have a plan for them. Just look at Dominguez, for instance. Just look at Peraza and look at Vivas. They don't have a plan for these guys, and that's something that I just don't understand. I just don't get it. It ain't something that makes sense to me. And thank God, Ben Rice has shown how good he is because I promise you, I don't think the Yankees knew quite how good Ben Rice is. So we got a little bit lucky that we got an opportunity to see how good Ben Rice is because he's been absolutely amazing. But they don't really have a plan for their prospects. Volpe is the only exception to that. And it's like they treat him better than every other prospect. They hate Perez and they hate Vivas. But Cashman traded for Vivas. But yes, they definitely hate Peraza. They treat Peraza like, you know, when you're rushing to the train, rushing to the subway in Grand Central for New Yorkers, rush to the subway is like 8 in the morning, and then there's this. Then you see someone on crack, homeless person in crack. In the tunnel, and they look menacing, and you got your head down, and you march, and you don't look at that person. That's how they treat Peraza. That's how they treat Peraza. That is how they treat Peraza. They treat Peraza like the menacing looking crack addict that's hanging out in the tunnels of the subway in New York. that's that's what they treat Peraza like. Oh Christ! Don't make eye contact. I might have to play him at third. I can't do that. Right? Just don't look. Just don't look. Look the other way. That's how they treat my man Peraza. What a shame. They do. They treat him like when you're riding the sub and then there's someone sitting there that's having a full blown argument with themselves, right? And then like the people around them just start spacing and start to get as far away from the person as possible. That's how they treat Pereza. It's what a shame, man. I fucking love that kid. I love my boy Pereza. I love my boy Pereza, and the Yankees don't. And I don't know why. And I'm very harsh, as you can tell. I'm very harsh on players. But I love me some Pereza. And I trust that. Considering I've got extremely high expectations for anyone who wears the pinstripes. For me, Pereza reaches those. And the Yankees despise him. Absolutely despise him. So, I don't know. I really don't know. Wrigley's are juicy fruit. Are we talking about gum here? Fruit stripe gum. Now we're really going off. Did you press like Mets fans treat Soto? Mets fans are idiots, man. They don't deserve good things. That's how I'm going to end this show. They don't deserve good things. They really don't. And I think Soto's figured that out. That's why he's underperforming. He's like, oh God, I've signed up for these clowns for the next 15 years. These guys are morons. This chat is off the wall. It is. It's fantastic. That's what we want. I love good interaction. I need to cheer up because that was one of the most boring games today, man. You know, that is obviously that's a positive, man. At least there's no jokes about malfeasance. But you know, I do have a soundboard that that we're primed for any more really bad jokes.
Boo! You suck.
So we've added to the soundboards, so we're ready. Yes, dude, I'm getting DMs about pickleball. I don't know what pickleball is. What the fuck is it? And why is it like why do I care? Why am I supposed to care? Is this a league? What is this? It's like paddleball, right? Do you guys play it? Is that a thing? Right. Like tennis. Why don't we just play tennis then? Like broke cats tennis. So tennis if you're broke. Why don't we just play fucking tennis? Because the ball is oversized. It's for AARP members. That's fantastic. I'm sorry. It is not appealing to me in the least. And I don't know why I'm getting DMs about it. The fuck? I don't have the mental capacity to deal with that. I've got the Knicks in the playoffs. I have the Giants draft. I've got trying to figure out what the Yankees are doing one day to the next, which takes up a lot of time. I don't have time to worry about broke pensioner tennis. You're missing out. I must be, bro. I really must be. So it's like supersized ping pong. None of this is appealing to me, by the way. Jones strikes out 50% of his at bats. Well, so does Volpe and so does Jazz. So join the club, right? So clearly, I've not been ingratiated into the world of this pickleball. How do you win? what's the what's the point? What's the point of this game? And why should I like it? Is this a new thing? It's fast paced. Okay. That doesn't sound like it'd be good for Sunil because he's like 90. Yeah, it's gaining popularity. Interesting. I'm gonna Google it. Chat GPT. What the F is pickleball? Pickleball. Right, here we go. It looks so weird. Yeah, you're right. It's like ping pong. It's like supersized ping pong. Oh, yeah. No, that's not for me. Hot women play it. That sports for me. That sports for me. Okay. Having said that, people in the chat did say it's for AARP members. I ain't there yet. So I don't think I don't know. Donald, I don't think you could live up to the pickleball expectations that you need to have to join the pickleball brotherhood. There's a there's a brotherhood. That's excellent. So it's a cult. Poor John Bazzini, he's like, for the love of God, can we get back to talking about the Yankees? And here I am looking at I'm Googling it and I'm just seeing 65-year-olds with playing with oversized ping pong rackets. But yeah, maybe I'm missing out. The Yankees are pickleball fans. Really? I'm 23. There's no one near my age that plays pickleball. Yeah, exactly. I'm just wondering whether it's like it's like the thing to do if you're like kind of cooked, and it's like either play bingo or you play pickleball. You know, but if you still if you're still in your prime, I don't know if pickleball's a sport. You don't think Hal plays pickleball? I don't, bro. I think Hal Sisson is a yacht, bro. I think Hal maybe plays fucking pickleball in his freaking yacht. I don't see him hanging out in Tampa too much. DJ Pickleball Hall of Fame. I think he should go with sports that don't require any use of his legs whatsoever. I recommend darts or pool. Take up painting. All right, Stevie B, DM me, man, at dstewart267, and we'll connect. Damn, everyone's been playing this pickleball. Tell Cash to take a bet. I think Cashman's still a good GM, man. I'm just not promising that DJ LeMay is still a good athlete. What other sports would DJ LeMahieu be good at? I'm thinking pool, darts. What else? Something where no leg usage is required. I know. Become a professional gamer. PS5. Become a star on MLB The Show. Join the big walking dogs. That requires walking. Yeah, Rajil playing MLB The Show. That's it. Arm wrestling. That's a good one. Arm wrestling. He could be a podcaster. I've now got myself a co-host. I would love to do a co-host with DJ. It's T-Mobile. Damn, that's harsh. That's rough. Damn, that's that's really rough. It's better than selling insurance. Ah, maybe be a good bat boy. Oh no, yeah, no way you could work Amazon. No way. You'll need a lot of injections on this hip for that. Farmers insurance. We are farmers. Do, 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 do. We're going well off the fucking. We're going well off the path here. Shit. We're well off the rails. This has been a great chat. It's one of the best chats we've ever done, actually. My absolute thanks to all of you guys. You guys are making Saturday very, very fun. Did they say which hip? Dude, which who cares? Both his hips are fucked. Does exactly. Who cares? Does it matter? Both his hips are shot. The dude's cooked. Either hip is a bad thing. Yeah. If you're getting a cortisone shot on any of your hips, then you have ceased to become a professional athlete, as far as I'm concerned. You're you're ceased to be an option to play for the New York Yankees. I think his hips don't lie. Oh my god! I guess his hips don't lie. Yeah. There's no way you could dance with Shakira, that's for sure. Could you imagine him trying to fucking dance with Shakira? Then he'd need multiple injections on those hips. Well, I love me some Big G. Oh, by the way, who's going to the Big G bobblehead night on the 4th? Anyone going to be picking up a Stanton bobblehead on May 4th? May the 4th be with you. I got one of those Judge bobbleheads, one of those May 4ths. I do quite like the Stanton one. Anyone going? We have a medical staff. Yeah, yeah. That medical staff saw that Volpe is injured and his shoulder was sore, and they're like, "Ah, I'll be fine." Yeah, I'd like. Well, if anyone gets a hold of a spare Stanton bobblehead, let me know. Underfunded. They gave him a lollipop and a butt slap. Right. I think they just gave a lollipop to Pablo Reyes. Like, oh, we'll find that bat for you. Don't worry. Don't worry, little Pablo. Aaron Boone managed today's game like it was like he was managing the Bad News Bears. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just sitting there and he's like, "All right, who in the end of the bench am I going to give an at bat to? All right, little Pablo, grab a helmet, grab an oversized helmet, brother. Here's a lollipop. There you go. You go out there. You go out there. You see that plate there? Yeah. See that plate? Just stand one side of it and have a swing. That's how they treat Pablo Reyes. These laughs tonight. Yeah, I needed a laugh because that game was so boring. Holy crap. That was boring. So I'm so glad that we had fun tonight to forget how diabolically boring the Yankees were today. I think they had 3 hits all game. Pablo twerking? No, yeesh. That is an image I really don't want to have. He's probably better at twerking than he is at baseball, though. In fairness. A lot better. Facts. Oh my god. Danielle Lambert. Enter my DM. Can we chat? Are you there? Can you play third base for the Yankees, Danielle? You doing an all nighter, Donald? It looks like it, eh? Seems like everyone here is right here. Danielle, unless you can give me the answer as to why Pablo Reyes is playing for the New York Yankees, then I am not interested. Thank you. Donald officially off the rails. Like Friday, one was but on steroids. I'm chilling with a great crowd. Yeah, this is awesome. I forgot my PEDs. uh, maybe you should get a cortisone on your hip, brother. My man Rajil, thank you, brother. 199 super chat, my guy. Biggest surprise this season thus far for you? I think the biggest surprise has been Rice. He's definitely been a surprise. Um, he's kind of blown me away. Another massive surprise, I would say, would be Trent Grisham. Um, I'm glad that they brought him back. I wasn't expecting him to be the best freaking outfielder not named Aaron Judge. Um, offensively, so that's a new one. So I would say those two things are probably the biggest surprise. Who's your biggest surprise? Yeah, Grish was the last player I thought would take a leap offensively. I liked him last year. I think he got a really hard time because he looks kind of like chilled a lot. I liked him. I always liked his clutch bat. I noticed that he was whenever we did play him, which was not often last year, he would always come through in the clutch, and Aaron Boone would then ignore him for 6 months. So I was like, this guy's good. I would play him, but the Yankees were like, nah. Oh, you're bringing in game-winning runs against the Red Sox? Nah, we don't like that. Where's Verdugo? That's how they treated Grisham, and I was like, I think Grisham could play, but they finally been forced to play him, and Grisham has shown that he actually can play. He's a very good player. Uh, I don't think he's this good. This is this new thing where he's uh, like 1,000 OPS and he's just like a walking home run. I don't think any of us are expecting that, but he's a very good player. Hell of a center fielder too. So yeah, he's one of my biggest surprises. Grish is a free agent now. At the end of the year, massive conversations need to be had about extending him. I read something that Grisham has been seeing like a sports psychologist or something like that, um, just to get his mentality right. And his mentality has been spot on. I like Grish more than Volpe. Yeah, join the club, bro. Maybe Grish got in the cages with Judge or Stanton because his offense looks unforced. I know for sure that Ben Rice has Aaron Judge's batting coach, and now Ben Rice looks like a freaking superstar. So um, maybe we need that batting coach. The whole team needs to see a team psychologist. Wait a minute, they actually do have one, don't they? I was watching the Yes Network, right, and then they were talking. They've got this new kind of position, right? I'm trying to remember what it is. It's like a player accountability. coach or some kind of a thing. Did you guys hear that? I came across it like it was like a week or so ago. They were talking about like they've got a guy that's like a player accountability or it's really weird. Can y'all remember what the title of that position is? Because I'm gonna have to go through X and try and find it. Better help. Oh, Evan, you're at the game today. Oh man, that sucks. Dude, you have the worst choice of games because me and you we went to the Yankee Met game where we got our asses handed to us. It was like 15-4 or something. Mental skills. Yeah, what was the exact title, guys? Can you guys remember? Because uh, Michael K was talking about it, and I couldn't believe it. I thought it was the most ridiculous title for a coach, but I can't remember. It was something about accountability. I can't remember what was it. It's driving me insane. I can't remember. It was something like an accountability coach or some fucking crazy thing. That's it. Performance enhancement consultant or something like that, right? It did suck for sure. The sponsor. Y'all have been the goats this chat. You guys have been the goats this chat. It's definitely inspired me to do more of these Saturday shows. If you guys can show up for me, I'll definitely show up for you. So a big thank you to everyone who's cheered me up after that boring ass game, and clearly Evan needs some cheering up too. Uh, Thank you to everyone who's joined me. CT, my man, John the Beagle Dad, Evan, everyone. You guys have been the goats. If you guys could hit the like button, we all needed this positiveness. Yes, I might not be. I'm just here. I'm just here for the vibes, bro. What's so fun? The Yankees aren't giving me too much fun right now, apart from Aaron Judge. But yeah, guys could share it out. Tell people about it. Tell people that there's a place there if you want to go completely off the rails and talk about pickleball for an hour and a half. Even though I don't know what an hour pickleball is, then come and join in. And thanks so much for the super chats and for everyone for giving almost 3 hours of their time to sit and watch this dude talk Yankee baseball and just general nonsense. So my absolute love to all of you guys. I hope you guys have a really good rest of the weekend. I know that the girls will be doing a show tomorrow, so be sure to check them on the upper deck. And then we'll have my awards on Monday. God knows what awards I'll be given, but hopefully the Yankees actually show up tomorrow so I can actually put together a decent awards. And of course, I'll be joined by my guys, Rob and Uncle T. So have a great night, guys. And as Uncle Tats likes to say, wear your pinstripes with pride and play hard.